Now, this lesson, Factorise non-monic quadratics. What does that mean? That's where the A value was something other than 1. I call them unitary or non-unitary, the book calls them monic, non-monic. So first of all, I've got a quadratic here in factorised form, so I'm now going to expand that and see what it gives us. So expand that's going to be 6x squared plus 8x plus 3x plus 4, combine like terms, voila. So the quadratic down the bottom, 6x squared plus 11x plus 4 is 2x plus 1, 3x plus 4. They are the same thing. One's factored, one's not. So our job is we're going to start with these ones down here and factorise them to get back up to these ones up here. So how do we do that? Well, if we work backwards, we can see the progression. So here I have a positive 11x. The step before it is that 11x came from 8x added to 3x. And once I had the 8x added to 3x, the step before it is the factorised form. So somehow we've got to be able to go from here, take this internal term out, this b term, split it into 2 terms, and then factorise. Alright, how do we choose that it was 8x plus 3x? Why didn't we choose 9x plus 2x? Why didn't we choose negative 9x plus negative 2x? Why positive 8? Why positive 3? Well, that comes from, surprisingly, comes from these 2 numbers we haven't touched yet. Positive 6 and the positive 4. What do you get when you multiply 6 by 4? 24. What do you get when you multiply 8 by 3? 24. So there's something about the first number and the last number times together, and you find its factors to produce that. What does that look like? Well, let me set it up and show you. Let's move over a little bit. 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. Let's have a look at that. Let's go and factorise this. Now I said just a moment ago, it's got something to do with the front number and the back number times them together. 6 4s are 24. So what I want now is the factors of 24. So I'm going to write the factors of 24 down. They are 1 times 24, 2 times 12, etc. So I've got 4 pairs of factors to choose from. So which pair do I choose? I want the pair that when I add them together gives me positive 11. Clearly, that's it right there. So I now know that I can keep my 6x squared the same, take my 11x out and replace it with 3x plus 8x. And keep my plus 4 the same. 3x plus 8x, 8x plus 3x, it doesn't matter what order you put them in. Once you've got the factors, you're fine. Put them in, doesn't matter about the order. So there's step 1. I've split my 11x into 2 things added together, just like I said I had to. From here, I've now got the front 2 terms, I've got the back 2 terms. I'm now going to factorise each of those separately. So I look at the 6x squared plus 3x and factorise it. So number-wise, what's common? They both have the number 3 in common. Letter-wise, what's common? They have x to the power 1 in common. Taking it out, I'm going to left with 3 and 6 goes 2, lots of x. 3x into 3x goes once. Now I factorise these terms. Number-wise, they have a positive 4 in common. No letters in common. 4 into that gives me 2x. 4 into 4 gives me once. Here's where I stop and check to make sure I'm on track. I'm on track if the contents of each bracket is identical, and it is. So I now have 2 numbers added together. That's a number, plus that's a number. This number has a factor of that bracket, this number has a factor of that bracket, so I take that bracket out the front as a factor. I'll leave everything else out the back as a multiplier. 3x plus 4. Voila. I've turned the expanded quadratic and I put it into its factorised form. 2x plus 1, 3x plus 4, just like I said it should be. Now, so that's factorising non-monic quadratics. Now, I'm going to show you one other way of doing this. Here, this is one way of doing the factorising. I'm going to show you a different way. It's my favourite way, it's my preferred way. Some people like it, some people don't. So, see if you like it or not. So I'm going to start with the original question, 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. It starts exactly the same way as this one did. We take the 6 and the 4 and we times them together to get 24, and we start writing down the factors. 1 times 24, 2 times, etc. 3 times 8, 4 times 6. So write all the factors down. Once again, look for the pair that add to 11x. Here is where it's slightly different. For me, it's all in the setup. Watch this. I've got 6 lots of x squared, so what I do is I open up a bracket and I put 6x in the first bracket. I open up a second bracket, I put 6x in the second bracket because of that 6 there. And then I put the whole lot over a fraction, I put 6 on the bottom. Because it's 6x squared, I go 6x, 6x, 6. If it was 3x squared, I'd go 3x, 3x, 3. Whatever that number there is. And then my positive 3 and my positive 8, I put them in right there. Great, that's my setup done. Step 2. I have 2 brackets here. One of these brackets will be able to be factorised. Sometimes both of the brackets can be factorised. That's very important. If you're going to do my method, one of the brackets will be able to factorise. Maybe both of them will. This is a situation where both can be factorised. This front bracket, I can factorise 3 at the front, leaving 2x plus 1 in there. Back bracket, I can factorise 2 out, leaving 3x plus 4 there. And it's still all over 6. So on the top line, I have 4 numbers times together. I have 3 multiplied by 2 gives me 6 on the top line, which cancels 6 on the bottom line. There's my answer staring at me. 2x plus 1, 3x plus 4. Just as we said it should be. That's factorising non-monic quadratics. You can have this particular method here. You can have my particular method here. If you have a look in the textbook, there's actually a third method as well called the cross method. I've never been a fan of the cross method, but I know other students and other teachers who love it. They don't do anything else other than the cross method. You can have a read of it yourself, see if you can work it out. You've got 3 methods to choose from. I don't care which one you use, but have a shot. So, entry level card, I'm going to put up a couple of questions for you to show me as you enter class next lesson. So give me a moment, I'll rub this off and put your questions up. Now, here's your 3 questions as your entry cards into class. Non-monic factorisation, 3 of them to try there. This one's just exactly the same as what I've shown you on the board. These 2 involve negatives. So see how you go on them. I'll be interested to see how you handle them. If you get them out, that is great. If you don't get them out, don't fret. That's where we can start our next lesson together. So good luck with them. See you in class.